there, it's Vicky here from West Green Loft Yarns. Thank you so much for watching my podcast. I am the indie dyer behind West Green Loft Yarns, and it's been a while since I recorded my last podcast, and I do apologise, but I just wanted to maybe do this once a week just to touch base because of the current situation. It's crazy, it's scary, and I just wanted to build up a bit of sense of community really. And also I wanted to do a podcast, like I say, it's been a while, and just touch base with you and show you some of my work in progress, some knitting, some crafts. We've been trained for this situation, we're okay. There's other people out there who are struggling. My husband, for one, doesn't know what to do with himself on a Saturday and a Sunday. It's all about the sport. He works really hard during the week, and quite rightly so. He looks forward to that, and it's not on, it's all been cancelled. My son's college in America, his semester, his golf season's been cancelled, but luckily we have got him home. It was a bit fraught last week, I'm not gonna lie, it was quite scary, but we got him home on Tuesday. So we're in the house and we're coping okay at the moment. So for anybody out there that isn't, I'm on Instagram. If you want to drop me a line, reach out, please do. And the other thing is I'm looking into is the Zoom software, so maybe we could have a virtual knit and natter, which if you're interested, drop me a DM on Instagram. I'm not techie, I don't know how it works, but Yumi and Mabel did one and it looked fabulous, and I think that's really important at the moment, that we all pull together. And I know we are all pulling together, because this is what's so fantastic about this knitting community. So I'm living in England, for those of you who don't know, and the one thing we've noticed is where we live quite close to Gatwick, and it's really quiet, obviously, because there's not a lot of planes flying, if any at all. And yeah, I don't even know why I was saying that really. But anyway, I'm going to be talking today about my knitting, my spinning, which is a new thing for me, weaving, embroidery and quilting. Just sharing with you what's on my needles, what's on my workspace, and I'm really glad that you're here so that we can have a chat. You can find me on Ravelry, you can find me on Instagram as West Green Loft Yarns, which is my preferred media that I prefer to communicate over, as well as Facebook as well. So welcome, I'm really glad you're here. Let's get started. So I'm going to talk about my finished objects first, because there's been a few since my last podcast, and I'm wearing one of them, but I can't claim that this is one of my finished objects. But I wanted to wear it today because I saw the fabulous Jodie and Tracy on Grocery Girls yesterday, and Tracy was wearing hers, and I mentioned that I might wear mine today. I have got the window open because I was scared as I was recording this I was going to get a little bit warm, but at the moment it's fine. I've got a white t-shirt underneath. So this is the Love Note, and it's by Tin Can Knits, and it was made for me for Yarndale last year by the fabulous designer Jeanette. She knitted this up for me, and it is in my wiggly West Green Loft Yarns cashmere and kid silk mohair wiggly wisp, and this is the colourway Nougat. I didn't knit this, but Jeanette said it was a really quick knit. It is the cropped version. I'm not going to stand up because it is quite cropped, but I just wanted you to see it, and I love wearing it. It's very warm, but not too warm. The sleeves are cropped as well. They're mid-arm. I've got quite long arms. And Jeanette did a swatch, so it's to gauge, and I absolutely love it. So that's one of the finished objects, but not one of my finished objects. One of my other finished objects since my last podcast, sorry, I'm just adjusting my table because it's digging into my leg, is another one which is 4-ply fingering or fingering weight, held with one strand of mohair, and that is my Forager sweater, and the pattern is Melody Hoffman, and it is called the Forager, and it's one strand of fingering 4-ply with one strand of mohair, and it's in my PECAN colourway. And this was a fabulous knit. I didn't make any modifications, I followed the pattern, and it's a very quick, this is the cropped version, but it is longer than the love note that I've got on at the moment. And oh, I hope the lighting's okay. It is a really lovely knit. I love the little details, the pearl row on the underneath the ribbing, and that's on the bottom and on the sleeves, and you just hold it. And what I liked was her short rows. Usually I get like a dotty line, but I didn't get that this time. Just a really lovely knit. It's lovely with one of these basic tees and a pair of jeans and my brown ankle boots, and I absolutely love this. And this was on display with this at Unravel, so you might have seen it. I didn't take enough kits with me, so I apologise, but if you did want to knit it, then just go to my shop. There's the sweater listing. This is the PECAN colourway, this is the Nougat colourway. Choose your size from the pattern on Ravelry and then just order and I'll dye it up for you. So that's 2 FOs so far, which I'm pleased about. And then I've got a pair of socks I'm working on at the moment. I don't know what it is about socks at the moment. I'm not feeling them. I'm just not feeling them. I just recently went to Scotland on holiday, took my spinning, took my knitting, didn't take my socks, and I really could have cracked on with them on the journey up there, but I'm not feeling them. So if anybody can find my sock mojo, please send it back. I would love to have it. But what I do have, and I have had, is I've had mitten mojo, and I knitted these for Unravel. Let me just swap my hands, and let me just show you. And this is the the Persephone knits, no, sorry, the Persephone mittens by Viola Emily, and this is again in my Nougat colourway, and what a lovely knit these are. And this is all from her latest book. I'll put the name of the book down here because I can't remember it. I think it's called Winter Knits, and I knitted these in these. I've only knitted one so far because I wanted to get it knitted for Unravel, which I managed to do. So it's just got such a lovely detail, and I haven't knitted mittens before, but the pattern's very straightforward, but there is a part of it where I had to write it out. I'm not going to lie, I had to write out the pattern because she gives you pattern sequences that you have to repeat, and it seems a bit, I found it a bit confusing, I'm not going to lie, but once I wrote it out I was absolutely fine, and I've kept those notes for when I knit the next one. But what I love is these tiny little eyelet holes are for when you wear the mitten liner, example, underneath you can see the colour through those holes. So this is the mitten liner, and I love this colourway and I'm hoping to try to replicate it. And this was my February, I'm really hoping you can see that, there you go, February Yarn Club. And this was a really quick knit because there's no rib. Let me just take it off to show you. There's no rib, it's just a roll top. You knit straight, you knit a gusset, so you do some increases, and then the only thing, I'm trying to think what I did something different. I made one left and right rather than what the pattern said, and I got this lovely detail. I think she says to make one a cast on, and I didn't like that, so that was my modification, and I'll put that in my Ravelry notes when I do my Ravelry. Hands up, I am really bad at my Ravelry, but I'm really good at my Lane notebook. I'm really good at that. I write in that. I think it's just because I love handwriting, but I'm really bad at Ravelry. So, but these are the Persephone mittens and liners, and like I said, I knitted this, and now I need to knit them again, but I love them. Honestly, I can heartily recommend these. They are really, really lovely, and they don't feel, I'm just going to show you, they don't feel like they're too big when they're put on together, and they come right up. They've got a lovely picot edging. So yeah, so I haven't got my sock mojo, but I've definitely got my mitten mojo on, and using my mitten blockers that I got from Etsy. So yeah, really, really would recommend those, and they match my jumper perfectly because they're both nougat. The other thing, excuse me a moment, I'm just going to have a little sip. This mug is from Nikki Franklin from the Stitchery, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's got some beautiful little Christmas trees on. I absolutely love it. It's just perfect. Okay, another FO for my knitting. I was very lucky enough to go on the Stitchery retreat last November. It was absolutely fabulous, and I took some knitting along, and I was working, for any of you ladies, if you're watching, hi, this was the shawl that I was knitting at the retreat, and this is on my new base of Corriedale, but this is Corriedale Aran, and again, this is the Melody Hoffman. I've sort of had a bit of a binge on her at the moment because I just love her as a person. I love her aesthetic, I love her demeanour, I love her podcast. And she's got a little girl, and I love, you know, I'm a patron of hers, and I love supporting small businesses, and I just love her patterns. So this is the Moonlight shawl, and as you can see, it is huge. It's in Aran weight, so it knits up really quick, top down, and you've got lots of little sections, and you're supposed to wear it with the reverse, I really hope you can see that, reverse stockinette, and then you have a section of, hold on, let's do this nicely. You have a pattern section, so it all keeps it really, really interesting as you're knitting it, and then you get to the end and you have this, oh, for those of you that know me, you know I love anything romantic. It's my whole aesthetic. I just absolutely love it. And this edging, oh, just look at it. And you knit it and then you SSK it to the main body. And I didn't go down the needle size. I kept the same needle size, and I'm really glad I did because it's just beautiful. And I wear it in bed. I think she says in her pattern it's for if you're going out, you know, say you were going out to the vegetable patch in the morning, and very little house on the prairie, and you wanted to put this around your shoulders. It's for that. I mean, the way she describes it on her pattern just appealed to me. And those of you that know me, I would do anything to live on a homestead. It would just be, I would love to go back to basics. So yeah, so that's the Moonlight Garden Shawl by Melody Hoffman, and it is massive. I could have blocked it bigger. I'm thinking about re-blocking it to make it a wee bit bigger, but I absolutely love it. And like I say, this is the Corridale Superwash. I wanted to take it with me to unravel. They didn't have any in stock, so I'm hoping to re-dye some of this, and this is in the Driftwood colourway. So yeah, really, really good. I'm really hoping this lighting is okay. Let me just lift this. That might be too bright now. Another bit. The other, as you know, and I'm jumping around here, I've released a new base in my shop called Merino Cashmere, MCN Cashmere Luxe, and it is a merino cashmere nylon base, but it's extra fine, there's no high twist in it, and I really wanted to show it off, showcase the yarn. I'm hopefully in this current situation going to be accepted to go to Yarndale in September, so I wanted a sample knitted up, and Jeanette, who knitted this beautiful jumper, I asked her if she would knit this jumper, and oh my goodness, I'm not joking. It's by Unwind Knitwear, the designer, who is such a lovely lady. We've been talking over Instagram, and as soon as I saw this pattern, I knew that I had to have it knitted up in my colourways, because it is just so beautiful. It reminds me of, think of a 1930s, 1940s woman, pencil skirt, you know, really lovely shoes, hair all coiled up. It's so romantic, and if you're on my Facebook page, in my Facebook group, you would have seen this. It's called the Blossoming. I'm going to put a photo in now so you can see it on Jeanette, because she needs to have that recognition. She's an amazing lady, an amazing knitter and designer, and she knitted this up for me, and it's absolutely stunning. So it's called the Blossoming sweater. And oh my goodness. So can we talk about this? Because firstly, the colourway is Seashell for main colour and Ashes of Roses for the main colour, sorry, for the contrast colour. But I just want to share with you the little details. A little cable rib at the neck, a pattern, very unusual stitch, then the whole body, and then on the base we've got that pattern again, followed by the cable rib, and then again for the sleeves. So in the picture, as you can see, this is not going to fit me. I asked Jeanette to do a 38, I think it was a 38 she did, because I want it for my mannequin for Yarndale, so it's up so people can see it. It's absolutely beautiful, and I know that Jeanette had to really go down. She always swatches. She had to really go down needle sizes to get the stitch count, but it is, I haven't even tried it on. It could fit me, but it would be tight, and I don't do tight jumpers. I also think this would look lovely in Mr. Bingley Blue with oatmeal, or denim with oatmeal. There's so many different combinations, but I wanted it to be knitted in the colours that were closest to the pattern that Rachel from Unwind Knitwear had done, and it is, I am thrilled to bits. So Jeanette, thank you so much. I absolutely love it, and just beautiful. I can't say enough about it. Not my FO though, so I'm claiming an FO, but it's not really my FO, but it's still an FO in my yarn, so I'm gonna claim that. Okay, so that's my finished objects. Let's talk about whips. I have got a sock which I'm using. I showed it on my last podcast. That's the same sock I have not finished. I'm not going to labour the point on that, I've just said that. This is my other mitten. So as you can see, you get to a point, you cast them off, and then I'm carrying on, and then I'm going to start decreasing, and then you just pick up the thumb on DPNs. It is such a lovely, lovely knit. But I want to talk about the ball. This is a cake, and honestly, put your hands up. I'm absolutely sick of when I wind on a cake, when I wind it on my, what's it called? Wool winder. This is what happens. And I'm actually coming from the outside. I'm not even going in the middle. So from now on, I'm just going to be winding them by hand using my Swift, because this really triggers my OCD. It looks so messy, I hate it. Rant over. So that's one of my whips, and that is the Persephone mitten liners in the February Yarn Club. Now, the closest colour I've got to this, but it's got a little bit more blue in it, is my Circus colourway, which is in the shop at the moment. And I don't want to be plugging away at my shop at this time when we're all facing uncertainty. You know, will skeins get posted out? I will carry on for as long as I can, and you know, I'm diverting what I'm talking about at the moment. I'm jumping about, but it's not all about what's in my shop. But I just wanted to use this opportunity and just chat to you about it. Business as usual for me with the shop. I'm going to post them as much as I can, and thank you for all your orders so far. It means the world to me. But going back to this, the closest colourway, but it's got a little bit more blue in it, is the Circus colourway. So that's one of my first work in progresses, and I'm going to work on that. I won't be travelling anywhere, because as somebody who's classed as vulnerable because of my psoriatic arthritis, I'm actually self-isolating. My husband and son are at home. They're doing all the shopping, doing the postal runs, and I'm very grateful for that. But I will not be travelling anywhere, so I'm going to be at home working on that, my Persephone. The biggest thing I'm working on, and I took it just recently when we went on holiday to Dornoch in Scotland, which was beautiful. I managed to go to a knit and natter group, which was fabulous, and the ladies were all so lovely and made me feel so welcome. I'm going to insert a picture, because basically I have been following this hashtag on Instagram for ages, and it's the Carlina jumper. And I'm going to put a picture in now of Chloe from Chick Pin and Ginger. I really hope I've got that right, Chloe, but I'll put it on the bottom. She came to Unravel with this beautiful sweater on. I recognised it straight away that it was the Carlina jumper. And I loved it, but what was funny is the contrast colour was my Lydia Bennett, which we had a laugh about, but it was beautiful. So I was really asking lots of questions, and in my head on that day I thought, that is the jumper I'm going to take away on holiday with me. And because I'm always wearing quite neutral colours, I wanted a colour that was a little bit different, and I had dyed up this colour, which is wild. I'm going to put it on the screen because I can't remember. I think this is Wild Rose. So basically it's a cream base with green and neon hot pink speckles. And I saw that when I was at the show. So everybody's buying the yarn and everything, and I'm thinking, oh, please, please, please don't buy this combination. And in the end I put one to one side. I wanted to make sure that I had one. And I've teamed it up with Antique Gold. This is my new cashmere base, and I've made a start. It's got a very deep yoke, and this is my Carlina sweater so far. Really messing around, sorry. So this is my colour combination. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, Vicky. Oh gosh. There you go. And I just love the flecks of hot pink. So it's top down. The neck looks really, really wide at the moment, but I think you pick them up, pick the stitches up, and then you do another bit of a ribband. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually dyeing up that hot pink and having that round the top. I think that would really do a nice pop. And then the same round the cuffs. I'm talking about 2 rows of hot pink, just have a little bit of pop. And yes, very, very, I know my sister's watching this, very, very bright for me, Angie, but I just think it would complement it. How am I finding the pattern? I am using half a size needles bigger. Why? Because I didn't have them. I didn't have the needle size that I needed. But what I'm thinking of doing is, because it's colour work, I find if I go up half a size, it's not as tight. You have to do increases as you're doing the colour work, but I'm really, really loving it. I honestly, if I could, I'd be knitting it now while I'm talking to you, but it's just too hard to knit and speak. And I think once it's blocked, it's going to look lovely. And this is my Carlina, Antique Gold, Wild Rose, and like I say, if you wanted the same colour combination, just go to my sweater order on the in the shop. But it's a really, really lovely pattern to follow, and I'm going to be working on that this weekend, as well as doing loads of other stuff. This is actually upside down, so it's like that. And I think that'll be a really good combination once it's all done. Really excited about this. So that's my other work in progress. And it's kept in my hide and hammer bag. And I know that Cherie from Ollie and Bella, hi Cherie, wanted to know a bit more about this bag. So let me talk about this bag. So I'm going to fold it up how it looks. So New from Hide and Hammer has made these bags and I love them. They are so well made. There's just something about them that I love. So this is my Hide and Hammer bag. It's got a handle, it's got a strap, but you can make the strap, and New, I really hope I'm getting this right, you can make the strap right to the end and then you can use that as a twisty. This is like a, it's not like an oilcloth, or maybe it is an oilcloth. It's got a bit of thickness to it, which I really, really like. I'm just going to turn it inside out so you can see. It's got, I'm sorry about this. There you go. Let's turn it inside out so you can see it. Right, so it's got a big pocket in it. And then this one has got a big pocket and then 3 pockets for your needles. I've got my pen in there. I've got my sleeve needles all ready to go. Let me just turn it back out the right way. And what I love, I've got 2 of these. I've got one in a pecan colourway, which I used for my forager sweater, is that you can roll it down, which I did. You can roll it down and have it as a knitting top. And this is where my knitting sits. I'm just going to show you. And that is a sweater size, but you can make it smaller. It's really good. I would recommend them. And Cherie, if you're thinking of getting one, they are really, really, really well made. So that's my Hide and Hammer bag. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to talk about my spinning now. So, cut a long story short, a few years ago I went to Yarndale and I really wanted to learn how to spin because I thought it'd be really good for me to de-stress. And when I started doing it, I couldn't do it. And yes, I am that type of person that I expect to be able to do it straight away. And I just found it with the feet and the hands and everything just too much. So I ended up buying my loom, my shacked loom, and I started weaving, which I absolutely love. But I still wanted to learn to spin and it was really bugging me. Anyway, I've saved my pennies, and when I went to Unravel, I wanted to have a look at the e-spinner, and I'm going to put some footage in now of my e-spinner. And I bought that from Spin City from the lovely Louise, who was so helpful. It's bigger than what I thought. I don't know, but in my head I thought it was about the size of a Coke can on its side, but it is a lot bigger. And I'm really pleased with my progress. And once again, when Louise was showing me I couldn't do it, I'm left-handed, and then we realised that I had to do it the other way. But I have persisted and I have watched some YouTubes. The only thing I would say, there is not a lot of YouTube videos out there for the e-spinner. So I might, I'm not going to promise, you know what I'm like, I might do a YouTube on my e-spinner and my experience with my e-spinner. Because in the instructions, I think they assume that you know how to spin, so you know how to set up, how to start spinning, and I didn't. And apparently you have to put all you spinners out there will know what I mean, but you have to put like some wool on, and then you put your roving over or whatever, and then you twist it, and then you can start the spinning process. So I have days where I can spin, and then I have days when I can't. For some reason, my mind goes blank. But what I love about it is that it's smaller, it's motorised. I could take it on holiday with me because we drove up. I took up my batting that I bought from Louise, which I have to show you. It's like a fairy, it's like a Disney princess in batting. It's absolutely beautiful. This one's got pinks. So I'm learning all the terms at the moment, batting, roving, and things like that. And I will put down the name of the lady who I eventually found a YouTube video of a lady who just teaches beginning spinning. She's got a spinning wheel, but it applies to the e-spinner. So I took it on holiday. I had tried a little bit beforehand, but it was only when I was on holiday that I realised and they recommend that you get a battery pack, which means you can take it anywhere, because when I was on holiday I realised I couldn't use it unless I plugged it in, and in the cottage we stayed in there wasn't a lot of places, the cord wasn't long enough, we didn't have an extension lead, whatever. So I am going to get a battery pack for it, just for if I go to Knit and Natter and things like that. So I started spinning, and I used up some old roving that I had, and I bought some bats off Louise from Spin City. Please check out her website. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I sort of had a bit of a splurge buying some more. But this is what I have spun so far. It's not perfect, as you can see, but that's the end. And I'm not going to unwind it because this now needs plying. And like I say, I'm new to this. So I've spun it one way, and now I have to ply it with another. I'm thinking of using glitter thread, and then you ply it the other way, because if I was to unroll this, I think it would all come undone like this bit has here. But this is why this is absolutely full, because I'm scared to start a new one in case I can't do it. But I'm sure I will, and you know, that's just practice makes perfect. But this is actually some roving that I dyed up myself. Roving, yeah. So let me show you. So I dye wool all the time. I bought this off John Arbour at Unravel, and I dyed it up, which was great fun because I literally just threw all the colours in. I featured it on my Instagram stories. And then basically you pinch it and then pull it and then slide your hand back, and that makes the twist when you're spinning. And I'm definitely finding spinning on this is easier as a beginner than the bat, because there's some stuff in there that is really silky and I'm losing my grip. But John from John Arbour Mill said to me, use this, I think it's got X more yarn of wool in it, and it's got a little bit more resistance. So I just wanted to share with you, this is a roving that I have dyed up and I will be spinning over the weekend. And to say it's addictive is an understatement. I absolutely love it. I find it very relaxing when it's going well. And yeah, I've just got to learn how to ply. And like I say, I'll put a little video in of it running empty, because I'm not videoing myself spinning at the moment, it's just too much. And then I'm just going to take a photo and put this in now of, as I was spinning it, I was weaving it. Once I'd finished spinning the roving that I had, I was weaving it because I wanted to see how it would come up. And you'll see that it's not as spun tightly as this one is, because I'm learning, and that's what the whole process is about, isn't it? So this is what I'm thinking about for the next few weeks. I've got a great variety of things that I could be doing, but if you're thinking about getting an e-spinner, definitely have a demo. But I love it. I'm really happy with it, and I know that I'm going to be really addicted to this, and I'm actually going to start dyeing up some roving for the shop, because I love doing that as well. So these are all work in progresses for my spinning, and if any spinners out there have got any tips for me, please let me know, because that would be a really great help. So yeah, as you can see, I'm piling up, ready to get ready for more self-isolation, because we don't know what's going to be happening, but I want to keep this all really positive. The other thing I've been working on, if you've been watching my Instagram stories, is my embroidery. And I haven't embroidered before. I've done cross stitch, and I've said this in previous podcasts, but I signed up to Nikki's sampler, Nikki from the Stitchery sampler last year, and took it on the retreat and didn't do a lot, but there's been some stitches that have been really bugging me that I couldn't do. Closed fly stitch, satin stitch, bullion knots. So this is it. I'm so pleased with it. Let me fold it over because the sun's coming through it. It's so relaxing. I love it, Nikki, honestly. And like I say, I'm completely new. I've done cross stitch, but I have never ever done embroidery like this before. So I am really pleased with my progress. And satin stitch, nailed it. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Closed fly stitch. Oh, that is a little, well, I'm not going to say the word. But this is so romantic. Roses, absolutely love it. And so Nikki runs a monthly subscription. I'm not doing this year's, because I need to get this finished, and I've got some other of her kits that I want to finish, plus the stuff I did on the retreat, and I want to be ready for next year, to be honest, Nikki. But yeah, go and check her out, absolutely wonderful. And then the other craft I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks is I'm going to be working on my quilting. Quilting is something that I absolutely love doing. It's just something, I love the way it's so methodical. So this is what I'm going to be working on this weekend. And it was strange yesterday because I thought, oh, I could nip to the quilt shop, and then I thought, no, I can't. So I'm going to be stash busting. I've got a drawer full of material. It's going to be scrappy. And this is by the uber talented Southern Charmed Quilt. If you don't know her, check her out on Instagram. Her quilts are absolutely amazing. And I bought the PDF. She does quilt alongs, and as she does them, when they're new, I think they're free. But this one was a while back, so I think I paid $12 for the pattern. And I'm going to be working on that this weekend, trying to fill up my days with different crafts. I've just finished this quilt, which is a Christmas quilt. And this is log cabin, which I have never ever done before. This is a finish object. I'm just going to show you in detail. 1 inch log cabin, and I've never done log cabin before. So the pattern, this is from Cowslip Workshops, and the pattern actually had holly and stars around the outside, but I don't like holly. It's not a leaf that I like. So what I did is I sent it off for some long arm quilting. I love the stars, so I asked for it by Midsummer Quilting to have hearts and stars. I've washed this so it's gone all lovely and crinkly. Red and white, and then on the back some beautiful red and white flannel, which I'm really pleased with. So it's going to be really snuggly for my grandchildren at Christmas. So that's a finished object for my quilting. And if you haven't tried it, please give it a go, and especially this lady, because she's got a beautiful shop. It is in America, but she has beautiful patterns that you can download over here, and check that out. So yeah, so this is what I've got planned for the next few weeks. I'm really going to look into my stash busting. I'm just checking my notes actually. I really hope we all keep busy. I really hope that we have this sense of community, and by doing this podcast, I wanted to talk a little bit about the shop, just to let you know, like I said earlier, that it's business as usual for me, and as long as the post office is shipping, then I'll keep on sending out any orders. But just be aware with international orders, I think they could either be delayed. I think they're still letting freight fly out, but one of the things I wanted to talk about in the shop that I've just launched is I'm not doing an advent calendar this year. I explained on my Instagram, and I'm sorry for any of you that messaged me and to say that you were really disappointed. But I am a one-woman person and a one-woman business, sorry. So when I'm doing the advent calendars, I can't be dyeing, and it is a lot of work that, yes, I could dye up all the colours beforehand, but as I'm so obsessive about it, I don't just dye up all the colours. I dye up one colour and then look at the next one. So anyway, I'm not going to be doing an advent calendar this year, but what I am doing, one of the things I'm doing, and I've released it already into the shop, is my Hibernation gift set, and that will ship at the end of October. And the fabulous Jules from So Sweet Violet is going to be designing a sock pattern for us that's going to be in the box. So you'll get a pattern, a sock set, a candle, a sweet treat, and a themed stitch marker. and you can open that any time in the winter months. You could save that for Christmas Eve. It's entirely up to you. I am doing limited quantities, and that's not a sales pitch. So grab them while you can, because I will have a cut-off, because I am one woman working by myself, and I've got other ideas that I want to release into the shop. So it's available in the shop right now, and like I say, really excited to be working. I feel very honoured to be working with Jules from So Sweet Violet. Her sock patterns are amazing. I've already got the colourway in my head. I'm going to be having a play with that, so I'm really excited about that. The other thing that I've got new in the shop, and I just wanted to go through it, is some needle gauges, and also some, and the reason I'm doing this so you can see the size, is some cedar, oh gosh, can you see it? The light has gone. They're like little sweaters, and they're cedar. They're for hanging up with any of your finished knits. So that's about it really. I don't even know how long I've recorded for, but I just want you all to stay safe out there. Look after yourself. It's a bit crazy with all the deliveries and the food, and I feel for people at the moment, you know, job wise. I'm lucky enough that I can work from home and I can carry on what I'm doing, but you know, my heart goes out to anybody who's been affected, and especially like the schools are finishing. You know, my daughter's having to take 2 months off work because Virgin have stopped flying. So, you know, let's just all look after each other. I'm going to be here every week for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too boring. I'm off to do my sourdough. That's the other thing I've started doing. I did that a week before all this happened. I went on a sourdough course and I am loving it. The only thing is now is that I've run out of flour. Can't get flour anywhere. I've placed an order with Shipton Mill and they've been inundated. I'm making soup. I'm a survivor, you know, I sort of hunker down and get some baking done and everything, but just everybody stay safe. We're watching the news in the morning and the evening. I do feel like I'm in the middle of a Hollywood movie. I wake up and it does feel a little bit surreal, and I'm sure we're all the same. But one thing I do want to say is I want to say a big shout out and thanks to our National Health. Those people, doctors, nurses, everybody, support workers, you're all doing an amazing job. So thank you from me, from my family. It's just amazing. And if any of you watching are support workers or National Health, then thank you so, so much. So I'm going to sign off now and I'm going to load this up, and I hope it's okay. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next week. I might have some other crafts I'm working on, but just take care and I will see you soon.